and the BPW to provide this candidates forum for the citizens of Montgomery County for the benefit for your vote. The mission of Crawfordsville and Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce is to provide benefits and services to our members that will enhance their business success, to be an advocate for business in dealing with local, county, and state government, and to promote the economic health of the county. So here today, the Chamber is helping to fulfill our mission and being an advocate for our businesses. At the time, we have almost 300 businesses that we represent and able to give a voice and be a support to them. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge a few candidates who are in the room who are running unopposed. At the time, we have Mr. Ryan Needham. If you could please stand and wave. Thank you, Mr. Needham. We also have Mr. Mills. Is Mr. Mills in there? There he is in the back. There we go. Also, Mr. Davidson's in attendance as well. So grateful they came out tonight to hear the views of those who will be speaking today. Thank you for your service, and we look forward to the involvement of the community members today. Thank you.
Thank you, Rick. Well, it's nice to be back to another candidates forum. It seems like we just had one not too long ago. But as always, when you look out the crowd, there's a lot of familiar faces out there. Now, before we begin, I do have a couple of items we'd like to mention. First of all, a big thank you to Dave Peach and his crew from our local radio stations for their continued support. As an example, tonight's event is being broadcast live on radio station WCDQ FM 106-3. Now, if you're here tonight, obviously you're not listening to the radio, but if you'd like to go home and listen to this all over again, it'll be replayed on Saturday morning, September 29th, on WCVL FM 92.1 and AM 1550 at 8:30 a.m. So you need to get up a little early, but you can hear all this again. We'd also like to thank our good friends at the Journal Review and the Paper of Montgomery County for their assistance in getting the word out to you folks on these events. Now, making all of us sound good tonight is in the capable hands of Dan Wills from Murdoch Sound, who's located up there in the booth. And a special thanks to Mr. Greg Hunt, principal of Crawfordsville High School, and the Crawfordsville Community School Corporation for their outstanding cooperation in making this event possible and really this beautiful facility here. Now, just in case you forget, please silence all cell phones and or any other electronic gadget you may have that really makes annoying noise. I have no problem with that. My phone just died, so that's out of the question. Now, as a reward for doing this, we have some delicious cookies, if you haven't already found them, in the commons for you to enjoy after this program. And again, they're courtesy of the Indiana Federation of Business and Profession. Finally, we'd like to extend a special thanks to you, the citizens of Montgomery County, for taking the time and making the effort to attend this evening's event. You, the voters, are what this is all about. We hope you have a positive and informative experience tonight. But remember, this has all been for nothing if you don't vote. Information on early voting and vote centers can be found on your program, and we have literature in the League of Women Voters table. So, and also, I'm supposed to put a plug in, there are copies of the League's new 2018 government directories. Any information about local, state, and county government, it's in that pamphlet. It's very handy. Now, moving on. Tonight, we'll be hearing from candidates starting out for state representative for District 13 and 40 on, along with candidates for county commissioner and council. That being said, now comes the exciting part that I always look forward to, the explanation of the rules. Sort of just like home. Candidates will make an opening statement. They will be introduced alphabetically by district, if applicable. The first two questions to be answered by the candidates have been provided to them sponsors. Additional questions provided by the sponsors were not provided in advance. The candidates will continue to respond in rotations to questions from the audience. After that, the candidates' closing remarks will be in reverse order of their opening statements. Time limits: the opening statements will be no more than 2 minutes. Responses to questions provided in advance to the sponsors will be 2 minutes. Responses from the additional questions will be 1 minute. Questions, not statements, from the audience will be no more than 30 seconds and must be addressed to all candidates. Responses to questions from the audience also will be no more than 1 minute. Closing statements will be no more than 1 minute. Timekeeping: the moderator, that's me, will strictly enforce the time limits. The timekeepers will display a 30-second paddle in front, warning paddle when appropriate, and a stop paddle in red will be the clue to stop. So you might pay attention to those folks down there. Now, if the candidate doesn't stop within that time period, the moderator will politely and diplomatically end the response. Now, failure to comply with the time limits will result in the violator being required to watch 1 hour of Fox News followed by 1 hour of CNN. Trust me, staying within your time is strongly encouraged. Now, rules for the audience in question, as I mentioned: when requested, audience members wishing to ask a question, please make your way to the nearest floor microphone. Please state your name and questions. Questions, again, not statements, must be no longer than 30 seconds in length. Questions must be addressed to all candidates can answer the question, and to ensure a variety of topics to be covered, there will To ensure the topics to be covered, there will be no follow-up questions for the same topic. Tonight's program will be divided into 2 segments. The first will be for our Office of State Representative in Districts 13 and 41. The second segment will be for County Commissioner and County Council. Those are the rules. Now, since part of tonight's agenda is both county commissioners and county council, we thought it might be a good time to outline briefly the duties and responsibilities, because there seems to be confusion sometimes between the different roles between the council and the commissioners. For really detailed information, please refer to the back of your program for the detailed duties of each office. The short answers are: the commissioner is the executive and legislative branch of the county government. They're responsible for all county business, including property, equipment, bridges, roads, and are responsible for all county ordinances. The council is the county's fiscal authority. They are responsible for all actions involving income, spending of county funds to include funding county projects. Please remember these distinctions when you're asking the questions, so both might be able to answer. Now, after listening to all that, I'm sure you remembered all of it, and I'm sure you will do well on your next civics test. Before we also begin, all of us involved with tonight's event, and I'm sure those in the audience, would like to send our prayers and hope for a speedy recovery to Dr. Tim Brown, who, as most of you know, suffered severe injuries in a recent motorcycle accident. He's a tireless public servant, and we look forward to his return. And by the latest information we're hearing, he is recovering a bit, maybe slowly, but things look positive for Dr. Brown. So if you're listening, Dr. Brown, you ought to be doing something else. Now, for introduction of our state candidates. For District 13, Loretta Barnes, Democrat; Sharon Nagel, Republican, incumbent; Tim Brown, obviously the incumbent, was unable to be here with us tonight; and Brock Irwin, Democrat. Now, we'll begin with our opening statements. Again, opening statements are alphabetical by district. So we'll start with Ms. Barnes, District 13. You have 2 minutes.
Thank you. Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here tonight, and thank you for taking your time out of your busy weeks to listen to how we hope to change the government and the state of Indiana. My name's Loretta Barnes. I'm a first-time candidate running for Indiana State Representative for District 13. If you're not aware of what all District 13 covers, it covers parts of 8 counties. So it's Benton, Jasper, Montgomery, Newton, Fountain, Tippecanoe, Warren, and White. So for Montgomery County, it's Wingate, Waynetown, and New Richmond, and some of the areas in between. The reason I'm running for office is because I found myself getting very frustrated with what I was seeing happening in the government, both federally and statewide. So for the longest time, I was waiting for someone else to make changes. And then I decided that instead of waiting for someone else to make the changes that I wanted to see, I would step up and try to be a part of the solution myself. I'm a marketing manager. I've been a marketing manager for 11 years. I've also been on my company's dealer advisory board for 9 years. Working with budgets, working with small and large dealers, and trying to see what we can do in order to benefit both small and large businesses. I believe in funding public schools, providing health care for people that need it, for everybody. And for everyone, if you're working 40 hours a week, you should be able to support your family. So thank you for having me here. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Ms. Nagel, you have 2 minutes.
Thank you, and I always appreciate being here, and I'm going to have this feeling I'm going to keep wanting to go forward. They're not supposed to do that. 6 inches, they said. Okay, so I was born in Michigan. I was one of 4 in my family. I put myself through college at Western Michigan University as a waitress and a bartender. Met my husband there. We moved down to Houston, and we lived there for 14 years, and I had a corporate finance background, and so that was my career for 14 years there. We started our family in Houston, Doyle and Jessica, but we always missed the Midwest. We wanted to come back so bad, and so we had the opportunity to buy a candy factory in Attica, Indiana, and kind of reboot our lives, and that's what we did. We made this big plunge of moving from $3.5 million to 3,500. We've now owned this business for 22 years. During that time period, the clerk treasurer of the city had resigned. I was caucused in and ended up serving as the Attica clerk treasurer for 9 years. That was kind of my first time to experience government. I was also the treasurer and president of the Attica Parent-Teacher Conference. I was a board member and treasurer of the Attica Baseball Softball League. For several years, I was a certified Okra grant writer. And I've now served 6 years as a state representative. I serve as the assistant majority whip. My committee assignments are vice chair of courts and criminal code and ways and means. And additionally, I serve as a board member on the Indiana Landmarks and Community, the Community Health Engagement Program. So I'm very involved and I really enjoy it, and I would just appreciate you listening to me tonight on my views. And again, thank you for taking the time to be here.
Thank you. Mr. Irvin?
I want to thank Crawfordsville for hosting this event tonight, or allowing us to organize here. I want to thank the League for organizing this important event. I think it's very important for all of us to know who's running, be informed about the representatives as well as the issues. So thank you very much. I also want to extend my thoughts to Tim Brown and his family and what he's going through. That being said, my name is Brock Irvin, and I'm running for the Indiana House of Representatives for District 41 against Tim Brown. I'm running first and foremost to give you a choice. Tim Brown has been unopposed for half of the elections that he's ran for the last 24 years. He's been in office for 24 years. And in that time, he's made a lot of decisions that I really disagree with. I strongly disagree with. And like Loretta, I can't just sit by and not do anything about it. Having this position go unopposed is akin to just giving somebody a ticket to our state House of Representatives, and that's not what an election is supposed to be about. We need choice. I'm a clear choice because I have a lot of differing views from Tim Brown. I'm running because I want to hold him and other people in the state office accountable. I want to hold them accountable for what they've done to our public schools. We are defunding our public schools. We're basically trying to privatize our public schools with about $470 million this year going to the voucher program and the charter program. I feel very strongly for public schools. I am currently a teacher at Southmont High School teaching Algebra 2, and that's an issue that we really need to take on to make sure that we are supporting our kids for their future careers, and that we're supporting our teachers to make sure that they get the best education that they can. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now it's time to move on to our questions provided in advance to the candidates by the sponsors. The first question was, would you support efforts to change the current practice of what's known as gerrymandering in voting districts? We will start with Ms. Nagel.
Thank you. So Representative Jerry Torr had a bill to establish a redistricting commission. And last session, we were really hoping that it was going to get a hearing. The chair of that committee, that would be over elections and apportionment, chose not to give it a hearing. I was disappointed because I really believe we need to have this discussion and look at the possibilities of how we can do a better job on representing our state. So I am very much supportive of a redistricting commission. House Bill 1014 was the bill. I actually spoke with Jerry the other day to see if he's going to file it. He is. That's good. And I also know that the committee assignment, the chair and the vice chair are both retired state representatives. So that means there's new leadership on that committee. So I'm generally hopeful that we'll get a hearing and we can move forward on this issue and have the full discussion and get it to the floor for a vote. I also have a meeting set up with Julia Vaugh, who represents the Common Cause of Indiana, to discuss this very subject. So know that I'm listening. I've been hearing it from my voters that this is an important issue, and I am supportive of change on this.
Thank you. Mr. Irvin?
I am very much opposed to the fox guarding the hen house. So yes, I very much want to see gerrymandering taken care of. It's a strange system where instead of the voters getting to choose the representatives get to choose who votes for them. And I disagree with that system. We need to make sure that we have a system where the population is appropriately divided so that we don't see the discrepancies that we're seeing now when we have people that are being voted in office with only 55 to 60% of the vote, yet we have 70+% of representatives as Republicans. That's showing us that something is clearly wrong with how we're drawing the lines.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes?
Thank you. I strongly support having a nonpartisan commission, independent commission, redo the districting lines in Indiana, because I feel that anyone that can benefit from how the lines are drawn should not be able to draw the lines, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, because what it does to voters is it makes you feel that your vote doesn't actually count. So if you're voting and here you have lines that are drawn, just look at District 13. Tippecanoe County has 4 state representatives in one county. People on the south side of Tippecanoe are not much different than people on the north side. And so I really feel that an independent commission needs to determine the lines, and it needs to be taken out of the hands of legislatures that have that can benefit from how the lines are drawn. Thank you.
Thank you. Now the second question is, what issue would be your number one priority if elected? We'll start with Mr. Irvin.
So as I said at the beginning, I am running largely because of what Indiana government has been doing to public education for the last 20 years, really. It goes back to the charter school program, which started in 2001. And I believe it did start with the best of intent, but it's been growing and growing, and I believe that it's becoming essentially a privatization of public education, and it's been made undoubtedly worse by the voucher program. The voucher program being a way of using tax dollars to fund private schools, religious schools. We have, like I said, $470 million going into these programs this year alone, and that number looks like it's increasing as more people are taking advantage of, especially the voucher program. I feel like that's first and foremost a constitutional issue when we are spending our tax dollars to go to private schools, and the vast majority of that being religious schools. But mostly it's really about defunding our public schools. Okay, we only have so much money to spend, and trying to spend it on 3 different systems is not going to work for anybody. 7% of our budget for public education that's paying our teachers is now going to these programs. And so I say, think about it like a house, a picture of a brick house, 7% of the bricks missing. That is going to, it might stand, it might fall, but either way, it's not going to be in very good condition. So we need to pay close attention to what's going on in public education and what we are doing there.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes?
Thank you. One of my first priorities in office would be rural development. I have been all throughout my district, and it's a very, very rural areas, and things that I've seen are people work hard, and if you're in a rural area, you sometimes have to drive 50 minutes to get to your job every day. Your children don't have opportunities in rural areas, so they go off to Indianapolis or somewhere else. I'd like to help sponsor programs that develop rural areas, build up park areas, repair sidewalks and roads, and help people find better jobs and incentivize businesses and manufacturing companies to come to rural areas. Part of it by rural broadband. Another thing throughout my district is being able to use your cell phone in my district. It's very spotty. So sure, that's cumbersome if you're trying to make a phone call, but it's really more cumbersome when you're trying to bring in small businesses to rural areas, when farmers are trying to upload their data on dew points and things like that. So what I would really like to see is hard-working Hoosiers actually get paid wages for jobs in the area that they live in, because rural areas are beautiful. Small towns are beautiful. I grew up in a small town, and your heart stays there. So I would like to see your hard work repaid by your state legislature, bringing in rural development for the areas in my district.
Thank you. Ms. Nagel?
Thank you. So my number one issue, and I've been working really hard on this, is the expansion of rural broadband. My philosophy is simple. I don't see broadband as a luxury. I see it as a necessity. It is no different at this point than electrification and telephone service to reach everybody. You know, when broadband was first there, I mean, none of us thought it was going to be that big of a deal, right? We all thought it was just, a special luxury to have. It no longer is. So right now, the Purdue Center for Regional Development prepared a study, and they analyzed it in modern healthcare, modern education, economic and development, consumer savings, and farm income changes, and utilizing all of those areas, coming up with a formula. What if we spent the money for broadband expansion? What would happen? The return is, for every dollar spent, it's $4 in return. It is a significant return. It makes great sense. It's just, how do we take that next leap? So I'm on a task force. It's the Wabash Heartland Innovative Network. And on that task force, we received a $39 million Lilly grant. And we're in the process of developing a strategy of how those dollars will flow out to create these enterprising hubs. Additionally, the governor just announced $100 million that he's going to throw at broadband. So I'm pretty excited. We have a lot of different programs that are out there. Now it's pulling all the resources together. Specifically, last session, I was the co-author on House Bill 1065, which set up an Okra grant on broadband. So if we can just figure out a way to envelope all of those programs, my goal is in the next 2 years, I want rural broadband out there, and it can be done working collectively together. Thank you.
Thank you. Now it's time to answer the first additional question from our sponsors, which was not provided in advance. Indiana is one of only 5 states without hate crime laws. In the last session of the General Assembly, an anti-hate crime bill was proposed. Please explain your position for or against hate crime legislation in Indiana. And we'll start with Mrs. Barnes. Ms. Barnes.
Thank you. I definitely believe that a hate crime bill needs to be passed in Indiana. I'm actually surprised that it hasn't been passed already. And for one reason primarily. A hate crime is not something that just affects the person that it happens to. It affects the community around them. It affects their family. It makes the family fear to live in the community that they live in. So a hate crimes bill would help the family and the community be assured that the Indiana government and the police officers are there for them as well. So I would definitely like to see a hate crime bill because I feel that it's very necessary.
Thank you. Ms. Nagel, you have 1 minute.
So I'm the Vice Chair of Courts and Criminal Code, and our current chair, who's retiring, would not give the bill a hearing. It was a bit frustrating because I think we have to at least start with having a hearing. Let's work through the details of why people have issues with this bill. I mean, currently in our law there's enhancement codes available for judges, but I think we've reached a point that we really need a better defining bill, and I think the hate crime bill would solve that. So I know Senator Glick worked incredibly hard in the Senate side, didn't get out of off the floor, but I believe the momentum is now there at the State House actually to move forward on this, and I'm very supportive of it.
Okay. Mr. Irvin?
So I was born and raised a Republican, and I voted Republican most of my life. And issue by issue, I've changed over the years. I consider myself an independent, but largely I align with Democratic points of view. One of those issues that I have changed on is the hate crime law, and whether or not to support it. I used to view hate crime as, why would we have a law? Why would we punish somebody worse for doing the same thing that somebody else is doing, even though, whatever the cause? I do believe, though, that we really need to have a hate crime bill because when somebody attacks somebody in the LGBT community, when somebody attacks somebody for being black, when somebody attacks somebody for being white, whatever it might be, Hispanic, whatever it is, they're not just attacking the person, they're attacking a community. And when will the crime stop? That's why we need that law.
Thank you.
AM 1550 WCVL Crawfordsville and FM 92.1 W221CS Crawfordsville.
The next question is, many individuals feel charter schools are continuing to siphon dollars from our public schools. Do you see this as a problem or not? Please explain your position, Ms. Nagel.
Was it you or me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
You didn't say my name. So, this tends to be a hot button issue, but I always come down to the dollars. How much money is it? And I think you have to look at that and decide, is it enough money that is affecting the rest of our school system? And I don't believe it is, actually. Do I believe there should be a governor, so to speak, meaning a maximum amount? Absolutely. And so when the legislation was passed on this, there were specific levels of income that you could qualify specifically on vouchers. That is critical, because I do believe that it's more of an urban issue where there are schools that are failing and parents that so badly want their child to have a chance to succeed. And this voucher program gave them that ability to move over to a school that can perform. Should they be penalized because of their where they live? I don't believe so. So I'm supportive of that, but I also think we have to be very guarded on what the percentage is. That's key, because we don't want it to affect our public funding. And I can tell you that right now in our budget, 52% of our entire state budget goes to K through 12 education. I mean, we have a $15 billion budget per year. 52% of that is for public education.
Thank you.
Big chunk.
Mr. Irvin?
I know you're not my opponent, Sharon, but I'm going to disagree with you on that one. Over $300 million this year going to the charters. And can I get clarification on the question? Was it just the charter program, or was it also the voucher program?
Charter schools is what it was.
Charter schools.
About.
So yeah, over $300 million for the charter school program. That's roughly 5% of the 52% that we are spending on the charter school program. Those schools are located in Indianapolis. Those schools are located around Gary, Indiana. We don't have them here in Montgomery County, but yet our schools are paying for them. Our schools actually mailed the state of Indiana to let them know that these are hurting our schools. We are losing money due to these programs. I do also want to make sure that our kids get the best education. I don't feel like we should be that they should be punished for where they live, and that means making sure that our public schools, where they are failing, that we do our best to fix them, because those kids need the help the most. So that's where our money really needs to go. We got to keep it in public schools to make sure that our schools stay stable.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes?
Thank you. I don't have a problem with charter schools per se by themselves. What I have a problem with is if, like in Montgomery County, if there's not a charter school here, but your tax dollars are going to pay for that school. So it's not coming back locally to help develop your economy. It's sending your children off, which is great to send your child to a better school. I have nothing against that. But what I have something against is if a school can pick and choose which vouchers to accept. To me, that's discrimination. And if a charter school doesn't have to maintain the same level of testing or the same criteria as public schools have to. So again, charter schools by themselves are a good idea. I just think that we need to closely examine what our tax funds actually go to.
Thank you. Before I ask the next question, I'm kind of concerned because I've got a feeling you folks hacked my computer. Because my next question is, a lack of affordable internet service continues to be a problem in rural areas around the state. What do you see as a solution to this problem? And I would start with Mr. Irwin.
So, to me, internet service as well as cell service in our rural communities is a sustainability issue. I want to see our small towns thrive, not just survive. We love our small towns. We celebrate our small towns. We go to the fish fries. We go to the festivals. Yet, internet service is one of the ways that we are failing them. They've already lost so much because jobs have left, and the communities they're losing money. One thing that we can do to support our small towns and our rural communities is to make sure that we have widespread availability. It's not just an issue for entertainment, it's about business. It's also about schools. I have kids that need to go home and do homework on their computer because that's what we provide them. That's how we have to give them their homework in some cases. And they can't do their homework. They have to go to McDonald's to find a Wi-Fi hotspot. Okay, so if that's the standard, then we need to make sure that we have widespread internet throughout Indiana.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Barnes?
We need to allocate money in the budget to go to rural broadband. And I know there are several people in the state legislature that are working on that. We need to look at outside the box things like they do for the electrical company, like the REMC. Work with leaders in local towns to figure out what the best process is and what the particular needs are for each area. So I would start with allocating the budget and the funds and the time and the people to investing in all of Indiana instead of just cities of Indiana.
Thank you. It's now time to answer questions from the audience. Audience members, please state your name and limit your question to no more than 30 seconds. Each candidate will have 1 minute to respond. This is usually where the hard part is because nobody wants to be first. So we have somebody who wants to be first. Okay.
Thank you, all candidates. It's hard to run and to serve. Thank you for being willing to make a difference. I'm really interested in the expansion of Medicaid, HIP 2.0. And I know that the Indiana legislature delayed a long time expanding Medicaid. It's now serving over 300,000 more Hoosiers than it was previously. Do you think that we ought to keep serving people who are low income with Medicaid and HIP 2.0, or do you think we should cut it back?
Thank you. We'll start with Ms. Barnes.
I actually am for universal health care. I believe that health care is a right. I think plenty of other countries have developed ways to make universal health care work. So let's look into the best practices of each of those countries. But until then, I do not believe that you should take health care or Medicaid away from someone who needs it. To me, someone works their whole entire life and gives to their children, the next generation. They should not have to worry if they can pay their bills or if they can get their diabetes medication. I believe that we should look after the most vulnerable people in our country first and respect them for what they have done for us. So I believe in keeping Medicaid. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Nagel?
So HIP 2.0, I believe, is a very successful program. I very much support this program and hope that we can continue to grow it with reasonable restrictions. Obviously, it's income-based. I think it's very important that those who qualify have skin in the game. We know that people behave better when they have to be part of the program or they have to actually participate on good behaviors. We have to remember that Medicaid is 13% of our budget, so it's also a very large piece of our budget. But controlling the costs of healthcare are critical. Taking care of our most vulnerable is our responsibility. And I believe that HIP 2.0 is doing a great job in that sense of filling that need that has to be filled.
Thank you. Mr. Irvin?
How a society takes care of their poor is a major judgment on that government and society. So it's our responsibility to make sure that we are taking care of the people who really need it. And HIP 2.0 is helping a lot of people. That being said, I am concerned about, there's a federal tie-in to this, so I am concerned with the ACA. So if that fails, what's going to happen to HIP 2.0? What's going to happen with we have the representatives in Indiana to stand up and fight for it for the people of Indiana? So medical issues, medical expenses can make or break, a family. So I want to make sure that the people who aren't already burdened through low pay, just living in a poor condition, that they are not overly burdened from medical bills as well.
Thank you. Do we have another question from the audience?
Good evening. My name is Michael Sutherland, and I have a question that has to do with public safety. I am aware that almost all the jails, the 92 county jails, are overcrowded. I know that part of that reason is because the state failed to fund some legislation which required the counties to house level 6 felonies. The sheriffs, including the sheriff of Montgomery County, is now forced to accept and keep and house as convicted persons, not detainees. Another part of the problem that causes the overcrowding is the underfunding by the legislature of public defenders. The fewer public defenders you have, the harder it is to get those people out of jail, to get them to their initial hearings. So the legislature has an incredibly vital role in properly funding the criminal justice system and to address the overcrowding jails and prisons. Would you please address what you would do in those situations to alleviate that problem?
Thank you. We'll start with Ms. Nagel.
So this summer study, we actually just had great discussion on that. The DOC was there, along with our sheriffs were there, discussing what the overcrowding issues are based on the level 6s and why this is becoming such a big problem. Also, the public defenders were there discussing their problem. I think right now, I want to say it's like 3/4 of the counties are involved in the voluntary public defender program. It seems to me that we need to do a better job on involving all of our counties in that program so that the public defenders are doing a competent job for those citizens that are being charged. That's definitely an issue, and then also the payment structure is an issue. We know that. We are working right now trying to come up with some solutions at the county level on how we can do a better job on potentially bonding out and releasing. One of the conversations is on bonding, is figuring out a better way of more on personal reconnaissance instead of having to come up with the bond money.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I had more to say, but...
Mr. Irwin?
Well, it sounds like we're wasting a lot of money by keeping people in jail that should not be there. I think one thing that we need to look into is getting them out of jail and putting an ankle bracelet on them. If we are not talking about people who are going to be a danger to themselves or society, then why are they in there? And let's take some of that money and invest in the lawyers that the government needs to have to get them through the system faster. That's a government responsibility, and if we are failing that, then that's something that we absolutely must address. And it sounds like we can cover that cost through avoid having to pay for people while they're in jail.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes?
Thank you. I think our whole criminal justice system needs an overhaul. There are people in jail that are in jail because they had marijuana. And now in a few states that it's legal to have recreational marijuana. And then there are people in jail for long periods of time because they cannot afford to pay. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, it seems like if you have money and you're rich, you're not in jail quite as long as somebody who is poor and can't afford to get out of jail. I believe the state needs to put more focus on public defenders. They need to put more focus on DCS, and they need to put more focus on adult service programs as well. So if I'm in the state legislature, it will be a priority of mine to make sure people have those resources.
Thank you. Do we have another question?
Rick DeWitt, What's your position on industrial hemp?
Could you repeat that?
Industrial hemp.
What's your position on industrial hemp?
Industrial hemp. Okay. We'll start with Mr. Earl.
It sounds like we need to let Indiana farmers farm whatever they need to do within limits to make a profitable crop. Hemp has got a lot of uses, and I think that the response that we got from our government recently about, our farmers not being able mechanically, having the equipment to farm it, that sounds like it was a cop-out to me. I think that they need to, I think it's up to the farmers to decide if they have the equipment and the money to take care of that. So, unless they get caught, growing, marijuana on the side, I think that I'm all for that.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes?
With the prices of soybean and corn right now, I think that industrial hemp would be a good cover crop for farmers, and it would be a way to pull some of the chemicals out of the soil that ends up getting into the waters and contaminating the water. Industrial hemp, like Brock said, has a lot of useful, a lot of good uses, and I believe that really isn't a good reason not to grow it if it's a productive alternative to what farmers are facing right now.
Ms. Nagel?
So I support opening up the expansion of being able to farm industrial hemp. I know that there's a legislator that's working very hard on this particular issue, trying to come up with the structure on how the seeds would be held and distributed through Purdue University. This is definitely a viable crop. This is something that can be done and can be done legally, and it can be done to avoid being involved with an illegal substance of marijuana. So I went to several different examples of a conference showing us all the different uses of industrial hemp. It was quite impressive. I had no idea how many things could be made out of industrial hemp. So I think it's a fantastic idea. I think we just need to set up the appropriate structure.
Okay, thank you. Do we have another question from the audience? Yes.
My name is Gary Bailing, and I'm a CASA here in Montgomery County. One of the things that I see is the issue with DCS and funding DCS enough so that they can provide for these kids that are taken away from their home, and that there are enough people to do the job at DCS. What's your position on funding DCS better?
This time we'll start with Ms. Barnes.
I think it's very dangerous if you don't fund them the way it needs to be funded. When I was a small child, I had an older brother who, over the years, DCS in a different state were called because things had happened, and they did not take action. So what ended up happening is my brother died, and later DCS helped my sister and I, because we were taken out of our home, and helped my sister and I. So there's a good side and a bad side. The bad side is they didn't help in time, and my brother died. The good side is they helped us afterwards, and my sister and I stayed together in a foster home together until we went to go live with my father. So there's a human side of it that children's lives, it's necessary to put sufficient attention to this.
Thank you. Ms. Nagel?
Absolutely. I could not agree more. The DCS is a critical function in our society. We have to take care of the most vulnerable. We know that, of course, the governor had to allocate additional funds for DCS. We did quite a large study in trying to figure out what are the problems, where are the infrastructure faults. And I believe they're working on a strong strategy and those corrections that need to be made. I personally have one of my employees that's a foster parent to 2 children. We know one of the root problems is our opiate addictions. We have just a tremendous impact on children due to the opiate addictions. And so it's not only just DCS, it's also the foster program, it's also the mental health, and all of the additional health outlets that we need for addiction.
Thank you. Do we have another question?
Would you like me to answer?
Oh, I'm sorry.
First of all,
Not
thank
really.
you very much.
Sorry, we just no. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much for what you do with DACA. That's an incredible service that you offer. It's incredibly giving of for what you do, as well as for people who foster families here in Montgomery County. Montgomery County is one of the counties, if not the county, with the biggest need in Indiana. And I learned recently that DCS, the reports that they get, they're not the physical abuse that we tend to think of. It's not neglect of children. It's actually sexual abuse. So it's a devastating thing to think that that's happening in our county. So funding DCS is it's overwhelmingly important to make sure that those kids get the chance to grow up and have a decent life, to recover from whatever situation that they've been put through. It's been made worse, of course, by the opioid epidemic. Thank you.
Thank you. We have time for one more question. I believe you're there.
Turning us back here at the end to education for a minute, that 52%, of course, doesn't seem too great a percentage if we're thinking about investing in our future, I suppose. Within that 52%, though, we have the big problem that everybody's aware of, and that is that our public school teachers' wages have not remotely kept pace with inflation. This has been very demoralizing to people going into education. Most of you know, work closely enough with education that you know we have way less people interested in teaching because they see this as a major problem. And I'm just curious how you all feel about that. Is there a way that you can work with the education allocation that would help our teachers? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll start with Ms. Nagel.
So I'm glad you brought that up, because we actually had a kind of a brainstorming session, Ways and Means, discussing that very issue. I'm trying to remember exactly where we rank, but we rank fairly low when it comes to our teachers' pay. You probably know exactly what that ranking is. And so the brainstorming was to try to figure out how could we funnel dollars to our schools and make sure specifically those dollars do go straight to wages. And I can tell you it's on the top of our list, actually, because that is bothersome where we rank in the state. And we do want to grow our public schools. We do want to grow and our education environment that fosters more teachers wanting to go into that curricula. So one of the ideas I threw out there, and again, these are just ideas you throw out there, is looking at the tuition reimbursement. If you receive any increase going into this next session, that all of that would go towards teacher pay. It's an idea. We'll keep working on those ideas, but that's definitely on the forefront.
Thank you. Mr. Irvin.
So, I know where about $170 million, I believe it is, could come from, and that would be the voucher program, the money that tax dollars is going to send kids to private schools and religious schools. That's one place where I'd like to see us recoup some of those funds. But it is absolutely a problem, teachers' pay. It's been stagnant for 10, 15 years, and it's affecting things. There are a lot of issues that schools are facing, and especially the teachers are facing. Pay is one of them. We don't go into public education for the pay, but it is a professional career and it is a stressful career, and it does deserve professional compensation. So we definitely need to make sure we, that sign triggered me off, sorry about that. But yeah, we absolutely need to make sure that we are addressing the pay, because we are losing teachers to pay as well as other issues.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes?
If teacher pay is important, how come they're not making more money right now? Yes, of course, I'm outraged by the fact that teachers make less. They make 16% less now than they did in 2000. Teachers should not have to work 2 or 3 jobs just to pay their bills. They should not have to buy school supplies. They love their children. It's a professional job they went to school for. They should be paid for that. They love their children. Of course they do. It's a particular field that teachers shape our entire world. You take me, a child that grew up in a poor environment with everything that happened, and then I go to school, and it's the teachers that open the world to me. And I think that Indiana's state legislature needs to stand behind our teachers and give them what they need in order to help our children to develop in the community. Thank you.
Thank you. It's now time for closing statements. As I mentioned in the beginning, closing statements will be in the reverse order of the opening statement, and that means we'll start with Mr. Herbal. You have 1 minute.
The umbrella theme of my candidacy is public-focused decision-making. Public-focused decision-making means that every vote that we make, every decision that we make in Indianapolis as representatives is done on behalf of the people. It's got to be, there's got to be a clear benefit for the people with whatever decision we are making. If it's a decision to benefit a business, there better be a very good reason why we are supporting a business, and it has to be for the people. So I want to see Indiana be held more accountable, and I want to see public-focused decision-making. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Nagel?
So I'm proud to be your state representative currently and would like to continue serving you. I have learned so much throughout this process, but what I have also learned besides passing bills and advocating for my constituents is sometimes it's not really legislative work that I need to do. Sometimes it's just noticing when there's an opportunity for my district and making sure that they're aware of it and they can seek out that opportunity. So it's always staying connected. Maybe it's that constituent that comes to me a specific issue that I never would have thought of because it hadn't affected me and I hadn't heard about it. And I'm able to actually find a solution for that individual. So always being that point person. I enjoy being that. I really am very humbled and proud to be in this position, and I would appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Barnes?
First, I'd like to thank everybody for listening to us up here and for going out and voting with your conscience. To all the new voters out there, please don't let anyone convince you that your vote doesn't matter. This year alone, there are more women running, more people running that don't look like the typical politician. And they're running to make positive change in our state. So remember that this is our government. It's the people's government. And if you don't like something that's going on, stand up and help make the change possible. Please don't let a small percentage of people that actually go out and vote be your voice. My name's Loretta Barnes. I'm running for State District 13, and I would very much appreciate your vote and a chance to really represent you in the state legislature. Thank you.
Thank you. Please give all these candidates a warm round of applause. And we thank you for taking your time to come and share your thoughts and views with us. And we'd like to thank the audience for your participation so far. So at this time, we'll take about a 10-minute break while we reconstruct the stage for the next part. Thank you.
And you have listened to live coverage of Part 1 of the Meet Your Candidates event here tonight at Crawfordsville High School. We heard from the state representatives, those that are running for those offices, Brock Irvin, Indiana Congressional District 41. Tim Brown, as you know, the incumbent, injured in a motorcycle accident a couple of weeks ago, and we hear good reports, and certainly we wish the best to Dr. Brown and prayers to the family. And we wanted to see him here tonight, but it was not to be. But certainly we are, we like the reports that we hear about Dr. Brown sound encouraging. And again, the Indiana Congressional District 13, which does include part of Montgomery County. We heard the two candidates there, Sharon Nagel, the Republican incumbent, and Loretta Barnes, the Democratic challenger. Next up, County Commissioner, District 2. We will hear from Ed Stevens. Ed is here tonight. The Republican incumbent, James Fullwider, not able to attend here tonight. County Council District 2 will be represented here. That is a contested race. It is Mark Smith, the Republican incumbent. Greg Wilcox is an independent running against Mark Smith. It should be noted that Ed Stevens is a former county commissioner, and he is running as an independent. He has entered the race earlier as a Democrat, now an independent, along with Greg Wilcox, and they're kind of running in tandem together. We'd like to thank the League of Women Voters of Montgomery County and also the Montgomery County, Crawfordsville Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce. Also, the Indiana Federation of Business and Professional Women. They are the sponsors of the event here tonight. We can tell you that, a lot is being talked about, getting out there and voting. And it is so easy to vote here in Montgomery County. You can vote early. You can vote beginning October 10th. Now, we should note that the last day to register to vote is October 9th. The last date to register is October 9th. This is WCDQ, Crawfordsville, True Country 106.3. If you want to get information about early voting, that begins October 10th, or to get information about registering to vote, you can call this number, 364-6437, 765-364-6437. As we mentioned, early voting begins October 10th. That's the day after the last day to register to vote. And the courthouse is always a place that you can vote early. It begins October 10th and runs through November 2nd. Monday through Friday, the hours of 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And Monday, the day before the election, you can vote at the courthouse from 8 a.m. until noon. Also, a couple of Saturdays are available. The October 10th through November 2nd are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30. Saturday, October 27th and Saturday, November 3rd, Saturday before the election, election day, as we get into the early voting, but we do have an election day nonetheless. That is 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. There are other places to vote that they are going to set up. Saturday, October 27th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. That'll be at Rock Point. In fact, all these times will be at Rock Point Church. Saturday, October 27th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Wednesday, October 31st, 2 to 7. Thursday, November 1st, 2 to 7. Saturday, November 2nd, 2 until 7. And that's Friday, November 2nd, 2 until 7. And then Saturday, November 3rd from 8 a.m. till 3. They'll be out and about at some locations around the county for some early voting. Saturday, October 27th, Ladoga Public Library, voting there from 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. Darlington Armory, 105 South Franklin Street, voting there Saturday, October 27th from 1 to 3. Waynetown Christian Church, Saturday, November 3rd, voting there 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And Waveland Fire Station, voting there November 3rd, 1 to 3. Election Day voting, November 6th is the election date for the fall voting, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Now, we've done this for a couple of years, the voting centers, and in case you are not familiar with the voting centers, here are the locations, and you need to pick one of these and vote 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. if you're going to vote on Election Day. And no matter where you live, you pick the location and you can go there and vote. Rock Point Church, Friendship Baptist Church, North Montgomery High School, St. Bernard's Catholic Church, and Whitesville Church. Those are the voting centers, and those are the places you can vote on Election Day, 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. And again, you can vote at the location that is more convenient for you, and that's voting Election Day, November 6th. More and more people are voting early. A big percentage vote early, and that will grow as the years go on. But Montgomery County, everyone with the voting here in Montgomery County, clerk's office and all of that, they've done a great job implementing early voting here in Montgomery County. So it's been and Karen Douglas with voter registration, they've done a marvelous job in promoting early voting here in Montgomery County. WCDQ, Dave Long is talking to the three candidates that are up there right now. Ed Stevens, a independent challenger to Jim Fullwider for county commissioner. Mark Smith had a little run-in and broke his hip. He is here tonight and in good spirits. We talked to him before. He's happy to be here. Didn't know if he would be able to make it. And his challenger, Greg Wilcox, is on stage as well. Again, Dave Long up there talking to the three of them. And we'll expect another hour or so as far as the second part of our forum as we shift to the county council and county commissioner. This time around, we will elect 4 county council people, District 1, 2, 3, and 4, up for election this time around. The 3 at-large were voted in 2016. Gary Booth, Greg Morrison, and Terry Hockersmith are the at-large. The 4 county council people currently are Richard Chastain, Don Mills, Mark Smith, and Mark Davidson. So the contested race is in District 3, and that is Mark Smith. David Long to the podium for part 2 of our Candidates Forum here at Crawfordsville High School. And David checking his watch there. And he is waiting for the cue to go. The current county commissioners, we can tell you, District 1, John Fry, District 2, Jim Fullwider, District 3, Phil Bain. John Fry and Phil Bain were elected in 2016. Jim Fullwider up for re-election here in 2018. WCDQ, True Country, 106.3. You're listening to live coverage of the Candidates Forum here on the radio. I'll tell you what, let's take a 1-minute timeout, and we'll be back here at Crawfordsville High School for coverage of the Candidates Forum on WCDQ.
Taylor, Chad, Minette, Schneider, and Clutter's commitment is to give clients sound legal counsel and valued legal services. They help people, businesses, and municipalities solve problems in many legal areas. When you call Taylor, Chad, Minette, Schneider, and Clutter, you can expect to be treated respectfully and with prompt service. They're committed to working with you to achieve your best result. For information or a consultation, go to tcmsclaw.com or call 361-9680. Taylor, Chad, Minette, Schneider, and Clutter. Commitment Service Community.
What do you call a great deal? Simply put, I think a great deal is a product or service that goes above and beyond most others, provided by a person you trust to work hard and do the right thing, all at a price that's hard to find. Everybody wants to brag about offering one, but the truth is, they're few and far between these days. I'm Derek Clore, president of Clore Insurance Group. We're proud to offer the award-winning Erie Insurance. If you're looking for a great deal on home, auto, business, or life insurance, call us at 361-6929 or visit us at cloreinsurance.com. Clore Insurance Group, a better way to do insurance.
And we're back here at Crawfordsville High School, high atop the auditorium. Dan Wilson with the sound here tonight, and certainly always sounding good here at Crawfordsville High School. Let's go to David Long at the podium.
I'd like to welcome everyone back. I hope you had a chance for a quick break. Now it's time for the introduction of our candidates for County Commissioner and County Council. For County Commissioner, District 2, Ed Stevens, Independent. James Fullwider, Republican, incumbent, is not able to be with us this evening due to an out-of-state commitment with the Crawfordsville Fire Department. For for County Council, District 3, Mark Smith, Independent, and Greg Wilcox, Independent. Now we'll begin with our opening statements, and as
I'm a Republican.
I'm sorry. Are you sure?
Yeah.
No, you're not. It would be a lot easier if you would stick with the script. I'm sorry about that. Well, there goes my A+ for the night. Now we'll begin with our opening statements, now that we have everybody in line. Again, it's be alphabetical by district if applicable. We'll start with Mr. Stevens. 2 minutes.
Good evening. I'm Ed Stevens. My wife Patsy and I have 3 children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. I have 3 reasons why I'm running for county commissioner. Number 1, I believe in property rights, and I think they should be in the hands of the people instead of the government. And also, I am opposed to zoning, and I'm about a 40-year opponent of that, so it's not I'm a Johnny-come-lately. Number 2, I am opposed to the industrial windmills. I think they're of little value to us, and I think they are a health issue, and as a commissioner, you are responsible for the health and welfare of the county. Number 3, I believe in selective spending and keep the taxation off the backs of our citizens. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Smith.
Okay, good evening. I'd like the League for sponsoring this forum again for us this evening. So, some questions we asked and answers I've given as well. I'm a lifelong resident and a life farmer. I started farming on myself, and I've always been my own boss in 1975. In fact, I live in the same house that I grew up in, and my wife's hard to be hearing this, but I haven't gotten very far in life, I tell her, so when you just live in the same house. But I've been married to my wife, Susan, out here in the red. In fact, on Monday, we celebrated our 40th wedding anniversary in the hospital, so plans didn't go as planned, but we also have 2 children, Kyle, who's an engineer for General Motors of Michigan, daughter Kelly works for Junior Achievement, and she has a 6-county area up in north of Lafayette. My parents instilled in me the values of being an asset to your community, and that's the reason I've always been involved in so many different organizations, whether it be 4-H or I've been involved in local, state, and national, and even international livestock organizations. I've never thought I'd be a politician, but I also helped thank Jim Brown on his initial when he ran for the House, and then I've also helped Senator Booth as well as on his campaign committee. But I've always been involved in so many organizations, whether it's 4-H leader or Muffy. I've been the campaign leader for Ag. I've played at the State House as well as in Washington, D.C. for ag issues. I've served on, numerous church boards and finance committees. So it's just a pleasure to be here tonight, and we're looking forward to your questions and answering those for you as well. But thank you for this evening, and we're looking forward to the evening.
Thank you. Mr. Wilcox.
Good evening. My name is Greg Wilcox, independent candidate for County Council, District 3. I'd like to start off the Indiana Professional Women for sponsoring this event, and a special thanks to Mr. Long for moderating. I'm a lifelong resident of Montgomery County, raised near Darlington. I've been married to my wife Lakin for 6 years. We have 2 daughters, Monroe, Palmer, and a son, Emery. I started my business here in Montgomery County, Wilcox Trucking, in 2011 with one truck and trailer across the state, and in 7 short years I've grown over 10 trucks and 10 trailers hauling livestock across the country. I'm running for office because I believe that it's time for a change in leadership in District 3. I believe that change in leadership should start by limiting government and steering clear of countywide zoning. That we need to take a more conservative approach to our tax dollars by cutting speculative spending and start investing in our county, such as promoting small business, building up our infrastructure, and focusing on crime and drugs, all to provide a higher quality of life for the residents in our county. It is also my firm belief that an elected official's duty is to listen to constituents, hear their concerns on their behalf. If elected, I vow to always have an open ear, listening to both sides and being transparent. Thank you.
Okay. We'll now move on to the questions furnished in advance by the sponsors. The first question is, what do you feel the biggest issue facing the county commissioners or county council as applicable? We will start with Mr. Smith.
Okay, being on the council for the last 4 years has really been an eye-opener. It's trying to find the money to do the things that we need to do here in the county. And right now we're going through our budget process, which is, to me, is probably and I think the rest of the council members will agree with me, this is our hardest time of the year, is to do that, because we always have, year after year, we have to make so many budget cuts and things. We've got great department heads that come towards us forward, wanting to, they've got, for their employees, and maybe needing more employees. They have computer programs. And to me, it's really hard to cut any more than what we've already cut. Yeah, there's a few little things, but nothing major anymore that really sticks out at you. To me, the biggest thing that we need to do is grow our income. We need more people moving into the county. We need more industry. We've got a comp plan that's going to come out this next week, I believe, and we've had a lot of input from the different people around the county as far as they had a place here in Crawfordsville, here at this facility, at Southmont, as well as in at North Montgomery Schools. They've had a chance to have input on what they'd like to see the county do in the future and how to plan for the future. And to me, we need to have more income, upkeep, the things that Greg just mentioned, as far as the bridges and the roads and the infrastructures, and be able to entice new industries here. So to me, we need more income coming in, because there's just not a whole lot more we can cut.
Thank you. Mr. Wilcox?
I feel the biggest issue today is our budget. I think we need to point our focus on prioritizing our budget, and I think we should start by cutting wasteful spending, making sure each department has proper funding in place to operate. And we need to find our biggest needs in the county and give that portion of our budget priority and work on down the line while still being sustainable in the budget as a whole. We cannot create shortfalls in our budget, though, that could lead to another tax increase like past year. I believe two items in our budget that are high priority are the Highway Department and the Sheriff's Department. We need to better our infrastructure in this county and our bridges to create the safe and efficient travel for the residents, businesses, and potential visitors that want to come into our county and spend money to our local economy. And we need to work closely with the Forcht Department to ensure public safety and to start really combating the war on opioids and drugs and crime in our county.
Thank you. Mr. Stevens?
I think the biggest issue is the taxation. I had a lot of contact last spring when their tax statements come out. And referring back to my opening statement, the commissioner's budget is approximately $14 million. And that's the reason I say selective spending. I'm sure there's some that can be cut. But I think we need to work at that. I think we need to keep the county stable and solid for the future and work for the future and make people happy. And so I'm very strong on this selective spending, and I'm sure if you communicate, and you may hear me say that tonight, you may hear me say it tomorrow, you've got to communicate with your fellow officers, elected officials, and work with them, explain to them what you're trying to do, and I'm sure they do some of that, but I think it ought to be expanded on. Thank you.
Thank you. The second question is, what would you like to see and or council focus on if you're elected?
Me?
I'm sorry. We start with Mr. Wilcox this time.
I think our council needs to focus on unity. We need to come together as leaders to seek the common goals in this county, which is how we can provide the highest quality of living for the residents living here with good roads, low taxes, and the freedom of property rights we've had the luxury of having for years. This county seems to have a divide in recent times, and the sooner our elected officials unite as leaders to provide for our residents and not push political, we can make progress maintaining the great county that I feel we've always been. And I cannot express enough how much elected officials need to listen to the people that put them in office, and government is here to serve, not rule. So I feel unity is something the county needs to focus on, the council, and move this county forward.
Thank you. Mr. Stevens?
I would like to focus on getting the industrial wind things, the property lines, the setbacks. I still go back to, I think there's a health issue, and I think that ordinance ought to be revised to where it goes to the property lines and not to a building, and that should protect schools, churches. And the second thing that I want to plan and keep no zoning. I think that's a very important thing. This county has grown over the years in my lifetime. It's a pretty neat county. People's own vision is where it is today. The roadsides is mowed. The farmers has done a great job. And they don't need somebody telling them, you got to do this or you got to do that. They'll do it themselves. And I just leave them alone, and I think things will work out real well.
Thank you. Mr. Smith?
Okay, one thing I'll agree with a bit on my opponent, Greg, is that we do need unity. Washington-style politics has no place in Montgomery County. I watched a little bit of that on the Kavanaugh hearing, and it was just shameful, I think. I do think we need to get together along better than what we do right now, but still, I think want to talk about we need we need all this infrastructure and to fight the opioids and all this stuff that costs money, but how are we going to come up with that? We need to grow. Again, it's like my last answer. We need to grow the economy in Montgomery County. We got people wanting, better places to eat, nicer roads and things like that, but there's only so many cuts that we can do that in. So I would like to see us more attractive to other people moving in, businesses moving in, to grow our tax base, to have more income coming in, so we can spend and do these things that we really do. I had a real estate agent here in the county just a few weeks ago was talking about how he had two couples from Illinois the same day, not related to each other, that were looking for property in Montgomery County because they were so tired of the high and things that they were having to pay in Illinois. But they didn't want to move too far out of Illinois because they still had friends and family and stuff over there. But they liked Crawfordsville and Montgomery County community, but they were having a hard time finding a house. So I think people like that and businesses like that coming in, paying taxes, and helping us grow the money that we have coming into the county, and so we can grow and do some things that really need to be done that we don't have the money to do right now.
Thank you. Now it's time to answer questions from the sponsors. As a commissioner, would you support comprehensive planning, or as a council member, would you support funding of council comprehensive planning? And we'll start with Mr. Stevens. You have 1 minute.
I'm going to refer back to my not having zoning. If you have comprehensive planning, then it's going to lead to zoning. And as I just explained, the people has done an excellent job making this county neat. A lot neater than it was when I was born and raised. So I'm not in favor of comprehensive planning. I'm in favor of no zoning, and I'm in letting the people live like they want to live and not be under the rule of the government.
All right. Mr. Smith?
Well, by now you probably know what my answer is going to be. Yes, I would help fund the comprehensive plan. Again, that growth in Montgomery County to be able to do the things that we would like to do in the future. So, yes, most definitely I'm for that as well. But what I don't understand, and maybe I'm not smart enough, the two gentlemen on both my sides here, they're against the windmills, the wind turbines, the wind farms, and all that, and I am too. I don't want to look at them, but they're also against zoning. That's like talking out both sides of your mouth. I mean, you look, okay, their stance is, this is my property, and you're not going to tell me what to do, but I'm going to tell you what you can or can't do with your property. No, that's not right. Property rights is a two-way street. It's how it affects the property owner themselves and how it affects your neighbors. We need to combine both of those, how both of them get together and how they can protect each other. But being on both sides like that, I don't understand it. I've yet to understand it.
Thank you. Mr. Wilcox?
No, I wouldn't support comprehensive planning or zoning. And I think that with the raw data that we have coming out of the comprehensive plan that we just did, I think there's a lot of people in the survey that have, that took the survey have expressed how they don't want zoning. So I think that's where we need to start listening to the will of the people. And I've sat through commissioner meetings and council meetings, and some people say we need to listen to the will of the people. Well, let's listen to the will of the people. The will of the people don't want planning and zoning. The will of the people don't want wind turbines. And I know it's ruining your view, but I'm against the wind turbines because the lady I know whose son could have bad health effects towards this thing. I'm against the wind turbines because I believe that if you want to bring planning and zoning in to create growth, you're going to allow these turbines to come in. Ask Benton County, ask Warren County, ask all these counties that have wind turbines. And you want to talk about growth and planning and zoning, but if these things come in, then we're going to drive our growth away, drive our tax base away, because people don't want to live under them because of the health effects.
Thank you. The next question is, as a commissioner, would you support offering various financial incentives to attract new businesses to Montgomery County? And as a council member, would you support funding
AM 1550 WCVL Crawfordsville and FM 92.1 W221CS Crawfordsville?
We'll start with Mr. Smith.
almost 4 years now. There's only been 3 times that we've approved abatements, and one was for Nucor, one was for Steel Technologies, and one was for the solar panels that was installed just recently there in Wayne Town. So I like that, because other counties are offering the abatements as well. So we've got to be competitive to bring those into the county. We don't have a lot, being a councilman, we don't have a lot of say, and we'd have no say what goes on in the city, which is where most of our industry is, within the city limits of Crawfordsville. So there's very few times that we can approve abatements outside, other than the ones that we mentioned right now. So yes, I think to be competitive with our neighboring counties and people wanting to come in, yes, I'm in favor of abatements, as long as it's good for our community. I've gone on record of saying that I'm against abatements for the wind farm. So,
all right, thank you, Mr. Wilcox.
Tax abatements are kind of a double-edged sword. You do need them to attract businesses to come here, but I'm not in favor of giving a company a tax abatement in the same year we raise everybody's property taxes. I feel like that's wrong. I think that's putting the taxes on the backs of the people. And I read an article a couple weeks ago how Boone County, gave a tax abatement to this company. And it was so many millions of dollars over so many years, and it actually, it created X amount of jobs, but in turn it cost the taxpayer like $70,000 per job in lost tax revenue. And I feel like it's at the expense of the people. It is a double-edged sword, because if you want industry to come in, they use that as bargaining power. But I'm just kind of undecided on.
All right, thank you, Mr. Stevens.
Well, I want to answer his question on this property zoning. I consider windmills a health issue. A health issue will override property rights. It does it in many things. And that's my answer to your question. Yes, on abatement, it was started years ago. I'm not sure I'm in favor of it, but once you start it, you can't quit it. Monitored and keep their feet to the fire for the jobs they're supposed to produce, and if they don't, it should be taken away from them.
All right. Next question. Would you, as a commissioner and a citizen of Montgomery County, support the recent proposal to construct an overpass on the railroad crossing on Market Street? And as a council member and a citizen of Montgomery County, would you consider if needed? And we will start with Mr. Wilcox.
Absolutely. The train, you talking about the train going across Market Street? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to think, that train, I've been blocked by that train I don't know how many times, but you got to think about fire and personnel and everything else. And it comes to be a public safety issue. If there's a wreck on one end of town, and I know we have 2 fire stations, but, it could be something major or majorly catastrophic. So, yeah, I would support something going over that, and it helps keep the flow of traffic, and nobody wants to come into our community if they know they're going to get stopped by that train. But I think we need to work with the state on that, and I just read an article the other day or today how there was the Supreme Court of Indiana, something to do with the ruling on how much they can fine them. So yeah, I would definitely support something going over that crossing.
All right. Mr. Stevens?
Yes, I'm always for safety, and that would be a safety factor. But I remember here a year or so ago, the state passed a gasoline tax, 10 cents. And then after that, they didn't really talk about it. It's a penny a year from the next 10 years. So if they got this kind of money, they need to kick in and help with safety, help the county can't afford it. But we sure the heck need it for ambulance and police work. Now, they've worked around it for years and years and years, but it still should be on the docket.
Thank you. Mr. Smith?
I don't think there's probably a soul in this auditorium that hasn't been stopped by that train. And in fact, there's been times when I'm coming in from the north on 231 and get stopped there by Walgreens and wanting to make a left turn, but you can't. there's traffic's backed up that far. So yes, it's a definite concern. It's something that we definitely need state or federal money to be able to fund something like that, because that is one major undertaking. But it's to me, it's an important issue for every resident in Montgomery County. And again, like the two gentlemen said, it's a health and safety issue really for right now to be able to move through town, and it's just it's a problem, and it's been a problem for as long as I can remember. So definitely.
All right, thank you. Final question. Many people feel that it's desirable that public servants or elected officials be involved in the community. That being said, have you volunteered with any community boards or committees within the last year? And we'll start with Mr. Stevens.
Well, I've done it to my organizations. I haven't, I don't know as I've done it to others, but yes, to organizations. I've done a lot of volunteer work, and for children, people, and I think it's very worthy. And anybody that does volunteer in their way, it's really worthy of what they do. And so, yes.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Smith?
Currently, I'm on the Ivy Tech Advisory Committee, which meets about once a quarter concerning our local campus and what they're doing and how they can increase their enrollment and things. So it's been really enlightening to be able to involve in that. I'm also very involved, along with my wife, in our local church as far as I'm on the finance team there, and we do a lot of outreach type programs. In fact, we've got one coming up in a couple of weeks where we're skipping church and we're going out into the community to do some work, and I think our group is going to the Boys and Girls Club to help do some landscaping that Sunday morning. So yes, I'm very involved in the local community, and have always have been. Like I said, my parents instilled that in me when I was a young child, and we volunteering is something that we like to do.
Thank you. Mr. Wilcox?
I'm not a member of any clubs or anything like that, but I'm involved in my church, and I'm involved in the town I grew up in Darlington. My company contributes to the fish fry every year, and I feel like that the small town fish fries are a good thing for our communities to, just have that level of, where you were from. And so, yeah, I'm involved in my town for sure.
Okay, thank you. That concludes the questioning from the sponsors. Now it's time to answer questions from the audience. Audience member, please state your name and limit your question to no more than 30 seconds. Each candidate will have 1 minute to respond to each question. Remember, there will be no follow-up questions to a topic that's asked once. Go.
Hi, my name is Sally Evans-Bolin. I lost my son to a heroin overdose in October of last year, and I'd like to know your thoughts on how we can help combat this problem.
All right, we'll start with Mr. Smith. You have 1 minute.
Okay, the drug problem is not like what it used to be 20 years ago. It affects people of all classes, from, I don't care how much money you have or what type of environment you were raised in. It's a definite problem that we have right now. We have the council. The only thing we can do is we sponsor or fund the drug court here, and I think that's making a difference that Judge Baraha kind of oversees. But there is so much we can do, unless you've probably been involved with somebody in your close friend that's had an addiction like that. It's the top of their list, I'm sure. So there's more we can do, but as a council member, all we can do is come up with the funding to do that.
Thank you. Mr. Wilcox?
Heroin today and opioids is a major dilemma, and I think one thing that we need to do to start really, getting that out of these homes is in transitional housing. People, they have an opioid addiction, they get arrested, they go to jail. If they get out of jail, a lot of them have two choices: go live in the environments where they used before, or go homeless. So they want a roof over. They're going to go live with the people that they were using with before. So I think we need to look into transitional housing and see what kind of funding we can get in place for that. And the opioid issue affects this county so bad. I mean, a lot of these people, that's our workforce. That could be our tax base, is people are not, getting jobs and contributing to society, and we need to be compassionate about these people too, because they're people, and they're people, they're our neighbors, they're our relatives, and we need to do something for them, and addiction is not a choice, it's a disease, and we need to combat that.
Thank you. Mr. Stevens?
I consider, I'm going to use the word communications. I think as a leader and elected officials, you got to communicate with the volunteer people that's doing this work. Yes, you might be able to spend some money, but throwing money at it is not going to totally do it. I feel sorry for the jails. They're filled with a lot of drug people that really need some leadership. Years ago, I think the state has let us down. They closed the mental health. I think the mental health issue should come in and start not only in Montgomery County, the state of Indiana, maybe nationwide. But then people's got to have somebody to build their confidence and try to get them back on track. And money totally won't do it. So I think it's a combination of things, and it takes communications from leaders, church people, whoever. And that's my opinion, how you're going to help it.
Thank you. Do we have another question?
Excuse me, Mariah Mershon, Crawfordsville. With the recent information that has been shared from the Legislative Services Agency stating that the small towns can use the 4-mile ordinance to protect the health and safety of their citizens, do you agree, and will you support these towns using these ordinances to protect their citizens?
Thank you. This time we'll start with Mr. Wilcox.
Yes, I agree with what these small towns have done, and I stand with Darlington and North Alamo for adopting the ordinances that they have, and I think that's the great thing about not having any zoning in this county is that these towns can pass this ordinance that the LSA obviously said that they can do. So yeah, I support it, and I think that's the way towns are protecting themselves and protecting the citizens that live around them.
Thank you. Mr. Stevens?
Well, going back to what I've already talked about, I think it's a health issue. Yes, I support it. We know the state passed it for a reason years ago, and it's nothing out of line to have this law enforced. So I definitely am in favor of it, and I'll support them in any way that I can.
Thank you. Mr. Smith?
I certainly understand why the towns are doing this, whether it will stand up in court. I hear two different sides of that. But to me, I can see the wind farms, the wind companies suing these small towns. If that happens, who pays for these small towns' legal fees? It's not going to be the county. And I don't think these small towns, I'm close to Linden, and there's not much in Linden there at all, to be able to afford something like that. If they think they can do this and still be able to defend themselves, unless they have the wind farms pay for their legal fees if they win, go for it. But I'm against the wind farms coming into Montgomery County. I think it's a big farce. It's going to be, 20 years from now, we're going to look back and say, why did we ever let these come in here? Because I don't think it's ever going to be something that we're going to pay for years to come. I'm against them, but who's going to pay for those legal fees from these small towns? They can't afford it.
Thank you. Do we have another question? Okay, we'll go there first, and then you.
Thank you for running. I think it's commendable that each one of you do this, and especially Mr. Smith for physically being under the weather to get up here and do that. I like that. A lot of issues talked about tonight. 4 key issues: wind energy, economic development, the opioid issue, and I forgot the other one. But if you were to rank the issues personally, how would you rank them? What is your number one issue if you were elected? And why is that your number one issue?
What were those 3 again?
Economic development, the opioid issue, wind turbines, wind energy.
So what would be your number one priority, gentlemen? And we'll start with Mr. Stevens.
It'd be definitely wind turbines, because I think there is, as he just said, they're a detriment to the county. They'll be detriment down the road when the people, they abandon them. Who's going to take them down? And I'm proud of the landscape of this county. I'm proud to be part of a farmer family, and I want to see the county stay like it is. I want to see it stay pristine, because we're one of the top 3 counties in the state of Indiana in agriculture. So I'm here to maintain that.
Thank you. Mr. Smith?
Okay, all 3 issues are very important. We've talked about all of them already this evening, but there's only one that kills people, and that's the opioid drug epidemic we're having right now. Again, every county in the state is dealing with this, even the Midwest and probably even across the country. But that's the only one that actually kills people. Yes, maybe the wind, a wind turbine could fall on you, or you could have some really serious health issues because of that. But being on the council and knowing that I'm the liaison to our coroner, and he came to us about a year ago asking for more cooler space to keep the bodies in. Have you ever looked at the paper and see all the people that are 20 to 30 years old and it doesn't list the cause of death? They were in an accident. Well, chances are it was probably, and being on the health board as well, so to me, that's the number one. Second would probably be the economic development, and then what was the last one? Can't even read my own writing. So anyway, definitely the opioid epidemic.
Thank you. Mr. Wilcox?
The opioid epidemic, I think, is what we need to focus on. As far as those 3, it would be opioid epidemic, then wind energy, and then economic development. The thing about it is we can't achieve economic development if we got an opioid crisis. Like I said earlier, that's our workforce. We can't achieve economic development if we've got, in my opinion, wind farms in here that's got a workforce out of here, because I think it's proven people don't want to live amongst these things. So, we need to, I'm all for economic development, but I firmly believe that we need to take care of our workforce here, and if they're on drugs, we need to get them off of them. And the wind energy thing, I think, is going to hurt us long term as far as economic development. And so, opioids, wind, and then economic development.
Thank you. Our next question.
Thank you, candidates. I'd like to raise a topic we haven't discussed, and that is child care. Subaru of Indiana has in-house child care, and that's one reason it's a very attractive employer. Have you ever thought about making child care available in Montgomery County as a way to advance our economic development? Perhaps offering a site at the Commerce Park, perhaps offering tax incentives. We have a child care crisis in this county. It contributes to the problems that DCS has. So I realize you may not have thought too much about it, gentlemen, but I'd like to know if you have any thoughts as to the role in government in this county in helping with our child care crisis.
Thank you. We'll start with Mr. Smith.
Me?
No,
Smith.
Sorry. That is an important issue. Again, I haven't thought too much about it because I've got grandkids now, so then my kids have moved away, so it's not a big issue for me right now, but it is for a lot of people. You look at the unemployment rate in Montgomery County. Anybody that has a job right now, but a lot of those people can't. You look at what the wages are going to be and what the cost of child care is going to be. It's almost an even wash. So they said, well, why work? But if they had economic, child care available to them, we get more of those people to work. And there's companies out there, and I don't care whether it's a fast food place or Donnelly's or Nucor, they're all looking for people to work, and we need to help those companies out too to be able to prosper as well. But yeah, definitely needed. Thanks for bringing that up. That's something I never thought about.
Thank you. Mr. Wilcox?
Yeah, I too have never thought of that, and I agree partly with Mark. I've got kids. I got my daughters are 5 and one will be 4, and my son's 6 months old, and we're in the dilemma now. I own my company, but my wife worked for the benefits, but her pay was hardly anything, and we had to make the decision: do we just buy benefits on the open market? And leave her here to be the child care provider for our family, and that's what we done, and the dollars made sense. But in a lot of families, it doesn't. So, I'm fortunate, our family's fortunate we can do that. But, yeah, I think that's definitely a good idea and something that maybe the council should, maybe look to see how they can assist in that as far as economic development.
Thank you. Mr. Stevens?
I think that was a very good question, and the reason I run for commissioner is I'm open-minded, and I got a heart, and I'll stand here and tell you, look you in the eye, I have a lot of heart for kids. I know a lot of kids that suffer, a lot of kids go hungry. Yes, anything I could do to help the kids, to help the county, that's what I'm for, is to help the citizens, make Montgomery County a place that they like to live and be happy. And kids can't be happy if they're hungry or mistreated.
Thank you. We have time for one more question. Or maybe two.
Kenny Kane, what do you feel the county council's role is in bringing new business to the county?
All right. We'll start with Mr. Wilcox.
The county, I don't feel like the county council should play a major role in bringing business in. I think we need to, in our budget to where, it's like I said, I think infrastructure would be the major role that our county council can play in bringing business in, because, we need to get our highway department the funding that they need to better our roads in this community, because I think they're the welcome mat to our community. That's going to bring in jobs, I think, and definitely entice people to come into our community to build.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Stevens?
I think as an executive position, a commissioner should look at the situation. I don't believe in speculative spending. I think they should pursue private money to expand the economic development, and spending people's money that you may not have a payback. It may take years. That money could be used on the roads. But if you just approach it, and if you want to talk about economic, this county is big in farming. Why hasn't anybody contacted agriculture manufacturing? You got Nucor Steel, it's got sheet metal, you got Pittsburgh bar metal. Great place to make hay rakes, hay balers. And you would think this would draw agriculture because we are agriculture. That's my answer to help this county right there.
Thank you. And we have time for the gentleman. Oh, I'm sorry again. I start right by you.
Kind of follow up on what Ed was saying, though, when I decided to run, and I was talking to some people, and they said, we've had people coming into the county wanting to maybe invest in the county, millions of dollars with a plant. But with the uncertainty, we're one of the 3 counties that don't have zoning. Again, I'm not a big fan. I'm for very, very limited zoning. I think we can have, 80% of the counties probably could be zoned agriculture. And you can come in and, if you want to put something in besides that, you got to go. So I'm for very limited zoning. I think we just need to have a few basic things. We don't need to be a Tippecanoe County or Indianapolis or a Boone County. We just have a few basic rules where you can't do that. But yes, I'm for funding the comprehensive plan. I think it can move our county the future. I'm tired of hearing people say we want us to keep the county just like it is. Why would a county or somebody want to come in and build a factory when there's no certainty that the rules are going to change on down the road, that they can't, almost impossible to do business. But I'm for funding the comprehensive plan.
Okay, thank you. Now,
Jake Jones. Recently it's been proposed to extend Memorial Drive out to 231, and that looks like that's going to be a very expensive project to taxpayers. I want to know what your thoughts are, whether or not you support it and be willing to spend taxpayer money on that when we already have enough roads and bridges that need repaired and rebuilt.
Thank you. We'll start with Mr. Stevens.
if he's talking about the bridge proposed, my theory is you don't build a bridge until you have a need. And as the question was, we got bridges that need fixed. Someday, if the need comes, then that's fine. But at the present time, I don't see no need for it. And I think our roads, we need good roads for commercial and public safety travel. And nobody's going to roads if they're bad. So no, I'm not in favor of that at the time, but I wouldn't put it completely out of the picture down the road.
Thank you. Mr. Smith?
I think long range, it's a good idea. You know, I that lives all my life in the northern part of Montgomery County, and if I need the sheriff out to my place for a break-in or something like that, it's going to take them a while to get there. You know, that bridge would certainly assist in the safety part of our needs within the county, especially the north. I think if you're living in part of the county, they've got a little more direct route, I think, to go that way. Is it a priority right now? No, I think we have some other bridges and things that need to be done before that one. But that, if we can get the funding, if we can get the way to pay for it, is my big concern. So,
okay,
yes, but not right away.
Thank you, Mr. Wilcox.
I definitely wouldn't rule a bridge out. I think that long term there probably would be a need for that. As Mark and Ed said, get emergency personnel on that side of the county quicker. But I too think that we need to take priority with the roads and the bridges that we have right now that need repair. This could be a costly bridge, so I think we need to work with the state. If it's got to cross a railroad track, you're probably going to have to get with CSX. So I think there's a lot of steps in place. But long term, I think I would eventually like to see that come to Montgomery County, to be honest with you.
Thank you. Now it's time for closing statements, and we will start with Mr. Wilcox.
I would again like to thank our sponsors this evening and everyone that came out tonight. Like I said, if you're ready for change and ready for true conservatism in District 3 that will budget your tax dollars responsibly, vote no to fund countywide zoning, who stands against wind turbines, and someone who will be the voice of District 3, listen to everybody, advocate on their behalf, and I ask for your vote in November. Thank you all, and God bless.
Thank you. Mr. Smith?
Again, I'd like to thank the League for offering us this opportunity tonight. The past 4 years has been a real learning curve for me. Again, like I said, I've never wanted or thought I'd ever be involved in local politics, but now that I've kind of got my feet wet, kind of know a little more what's going on as far as the council and their duties and things like that, I'm ready to hit the next 4 years running. We've got a comprehensive plan that's going to be coming out. I'm excited to see what that can do for our community to grow us. We need to move forward. I saw a thing, a map where it had different counties in our area, different colors, and Montgomery County was not moving at all as far as population growth and we need population growth and businesses coming in to be able to afford to do the things we like to do. So I'd like to see that move forward, and I'm excited to see what that can happen in the future. I've got a great committee that has helped me so far. We're going to hit the road the next 40 days campaigning, so I'd appreciate your vote come early November. Thank you.
Thank you. And finally, Mr. Stevens?
I want to thank my family and all the citizens of this county who's supporting me. I want to thank the sponsors for keeping our precious democratic process intact. And I want to emphasize that. Thank you.
Well, let's give him a big round of applause. And everyone appreciates you taking the time to come to here this evening and answer the questions and state your positions. And I think it's out there that probably everyone here learned something new about some of the candidates that we had tonight. And again, we thank them. In closing, on behalf of the League, the Chamber, and BPW, I'd like to again thank all of you for it tonight. And again, if you didn't get it during the break, please enjoy the refreshments that the business and professional women have out there, because if you don't eat it, somebody has to take it home, and most of us don't need all that. So again, thank you for coming, and good night.
And that is David Long from the podium, and again, the Candidates Forum. A lot about zoning, a lot about the opioids, epidemic here, and a lot about the wind turbines here tonight in the second portion. And again, we heard from County Commissioner District 2 candidate Ed Stevens and County Council District 2 candidates Mark Smith, a Republican, and Greg Wilcox, an independent. Again, Election Day is November 6th, but you have plenty of time to vote before Election Day on that Tuesday, November 6th. And if you want information on early voting, you can even vote by mail. You can call 765-364-6437. Again, 364-6437. The last day to register to vote is October 9th, and early voting begins October 10th. Again, a big thank you to the candidates here tonight. Indiana Congressional District 13, Loretta Barnes, the Democrat, Sharon Nagle, Republican. Incumbent, Indiana Congressional District 41. Again, best wishes to Dr. Tim Brown. We hope for a speedy return to Montgomery County, and hopefully he will be on the campaign trail before this campaign comes to a close. But again, best wishes to Dr. Brown. And Brock Urban was here tonight, the Democrat, speaking at the Candidates Forum. Also, a big thank you to Ed Stevens, the independent County Commissioner District 2 candidate, and the County Council District 2 race, Mark Smith, the Republican, Greg Wilcox, the independent challenger. Big thank you to Dan Wilson with the sound, Dave Long up at the booth. And again, we'll thank our sponsors, the League of Women Voters, celebrating 100 years still, Crawfordsville, Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce, and the Indiana Federation of Business and Professional Women. From Crawfordsville High School, I'm Dave Peach.